Lions TV, good afternoon, good evening, Bambinos. How you doing? Today I should have been filming the post-match Birmingham, the pre-match Brighton, and tying that all into one VT, but I've got the call this morning from ITV and they want to interview me about the game tomorrow. Stick it on, I don't know if it's going on the news tonight or it's going online or what, but being the narcissist that I am, I'm up here like a shot. I did say to them, no, I won't be talking about anything else other than football, because I recently went on a Channel 4 show and they said, come on, talk about the FA Cup. And then when I got there, they started trying to talk about the Everton game, which I didn't want to do, but it turned out alright to defend our club, and rightly so. So this is going to be a shot straight out of cannon. There is going to be no overlay, no clips, no nothing, which is a shame because I want to actually show you a couple. Let's start out with the game on Wednesday night away to Birmingham. I and myself, or the boys on Lions TV, or I don't think even any other Mill fans saw that coming. And that's typical fashion of our club at the minute. A fantastic performance. We played football, we created chances, we attacked with pace and ideas, we got balls into the box early, and we went back to a 4-5-1. 4 changes were made. Dave Martin come in goal. Let's start out with him coming in for Archer. It's something I've been calling for a long time. Dave Martin is a good experienced goalkeeper. He's been around a long time, and it was a strange decision to put him in when he did. He should have gone in long before now. And in Archer's defence, although he always looks shaky, and Jake Cooper especially, if you watch Cooper, he doesn't want to get the ball back to Archer. If he's facing goal, he's got the opportunity to pass it back. He won't do it. He turns round and he ships it down the line. But in defence of Jordan Archer, despite him being shaky recently in his distribution, he's got a banana foot. He hasn't really directly been at fault for any goals. So to drop him now was a little bit of it was the right decision, but it was a bit of maybe an untimely decision from the gaffer. He deserved to be out the side long before now. Dave Martin come in, made a good save early, one-on-one, flapped at 2 crosses, but as I'll point back to this stat when someone asked me yesterday, Dave Martin hasn't played in goal. He's only ever played 1 game in goal for me or in the league. That was away at Aston Villa in December 2017. So he's entitled to need time to get back into the swing of things. Playing in the under-23s and training, it's not the same as playing first team football. So Dave Martin, he looked confident, he looked assured, he was vocal. The defence in front of him looked confident, and 2 games, 2 clean sheets. You can't do much more than that. You can't ask for much more from Dave Martin. Fergie at left back. In my pre-match I said put Meredith left back and put Fergie left mid. I think the gaffer got that one right. I've not got no confidence in Meredith anymore, unfortunately, although he was fantastic for his last season. And Fergie played very well at left back. Pearce was superb, centre half, and Cooper alongside him. Romeo has been much improved recently. I've been critical of his defending. Always loved him going forward, very exciting player, and he'd be great in a 3-5-2. But he's been exposed for a lot of goals this season. But recently he seems to have really sorted that out, Marlon. And I just wanted to mention that he seems to have really kicked on. Midfield, the midfield 3, Jed Wallace. The midfield 3, let's start. Ryan Leonard for me did nothing, and he still shouldn't be anywhere near that side. And that's probably the only change that I would make in the next league game. Ryan Tunnicliffe, I thought he did well. Listen, again, it's like I used to feel with Fergie. Technically very good, just doesn't do enough. But I thought he had a good game. His passing range is great, I've got to admit. And I thought Tunnicliffe had a good game, deserves to keep his place for the weekend's cup match. Now, pointing to saying Tunnicliffe doesn't do enough, and pointing back to Leonard saying he's a box-to-box midfielder, which he clearly isn't, because he hasn't got any pace. Ben Thompson showed in both goals, but especially in the first, what a fucking hunger and a passion to play on a football team does for you. And that is what a box-to-box midfielder does. He gets the ball off Marshall, he lays it to Gregory, he's well inside our own half, and he absolutely breaks his bollocks to get forward. Everything has to be a sprint, everything has to be full commitment, full passion. Ben Thompson absolutely breaks a neck to get forward and get on the end of a fantastic return from Lee Gregory and puts us in front. Another great goal, another great flick from Gregory, who, by the way, should absolutely play up front by himself. I think he's better up front by himself. Even if you had a striker good enough to play there with him, I think Gregors does a fantastic job out there by himself because he works so fucking hard, because he runs the channels. And now the last 2 games, Lee Gregory has had his critics, but the last 2 games, as I say, he sorted that out. He really has. A goal against Bolton, 2 brilliant assists for Ben Thompson. The one for the first goal, there weren't a lot of area to put that return ball for Tomo in at all, and he picked him out perfectly. Ben Thompson, wow, just the man epitomises everything that is Millwall Football Club, everything we want to see as fans. As I say, went to Pompey, a boys, returned the man, and credit's got to go there to Kenny Jackett somewhere along the way, because he was not that player when he left. He was nowhere near that player. I always backed him and said there is a player in there, but even I didn't think that he'd get that good. And at the minute, he looks too good for Millwall and too good for the Championship. If he carries on playing like that, we'll struggle to keep hold of him in the long term. But that just leaves the 2 wide players to sum up. Jed Wallace works his nuts off. You can't fault Jed Wallace. You can see he wants to be at the club and he wants to play for the club, but again, he doesn't get enough of the ball. With Gregory up front, you need chances to score goals, and if you get 1 chance, you ain't going to score 1 goal. Gregory needs 4 or 5 in a game to score, as do most forwards. Jed needs more of the ball, and he ain't going to get that out wide. To get more of his crosses accurate, to get more of his deliveries right, he needs more of the ball, and he ain't going to get that out wide. He needs to be central. I'd take Leonard out, I'll put Jed central, and I'll put Fred wide, obviously, for the league games, because Cup I'll get onto in a minute, it's got to change. Marshall again. I had a hand in the first goal, but he missed that absolute howler of a chance to make it 2-0 early in the first half. And he just hasn't done enough for me. But at the minute, technically, he has got it in there. We know he's got it in him. And as he plays more games, hopefully, what I'm basically saying is I'll stick with him for a minute. I'd have to. I would play that team in the league next time we play, which is at Leeds after the international break. The only change I'd make is I'd take Ryan Leonard out, I'll put Jed central, and I'll put Fred wide on the right. That's the team I'll go with. It was a fantastic performance. It was a fantastic win. And despite Rotherham winning, I'm not too fussed about Rotherham. We went up 2 places in the league. That's what people should be worrying about. Wigan and Reading, and they got to climb above us as well as Rotherham. So I'm not so fussed about Rotherham. Let's just concentrate on getting ourselves right, winning the games we need to win. Just finally, before I wrap it up, I'm going to give a lot of credit to the man they call Thomas, 8 Days Keith, Marshall, the head, call him what you like, but 8 Days was back and he rolled our fans from start to finish. I spent most of the game watching 8 Days, just looking up, just happy because he was happy. It was fantastic to have him back. Looks like he's ate a couple of humans while he's been off, and he's trying to copy me with a beer. But well done, Tom. You was fucking superb, mate, from start to finish. And now you don't lose your voice the next day. I'll never know. But our fans were superb, brilliant support from the 600 or so, I think, that travelled up despite being on the red button. So we move on to tomorrow's game, Brighton in the FA Cup. Now, if we'd have lost against Birmingham, I would have said, fuck the cup, let's get knocked out of the cup, it's an unwelcome distraction. But now we've beaten Birmingham, it gives us a chance to build a little bit of momentum and get a little bit of a run going. If we do that, then the international break, again, has come at the worst possible time. But we are 90 minutes from Wembley. It would be fantastic for the fans, fantastic for the players and the club, financial-wise, and exposure. Good for me, good for the channel. That's why I'm on the way up here to the den now to speak to ITV. It would be good to get back to Wembley. So tomorrow's game is going to be difficult. We have no Ben Marshall cup side, we have no Ben Thompson cup side, and Lee Gregory went off at Birmingham. I'm hoping that was just a precaution. And on the basis of all those players being cup side, I think he'll go back to 4-4-2 tomorrow. I think he'll keep Dave Martin in goal. I think he'll have the same back four. He might put Meredith left back, and then he'll put Fergie left mid, Jed on the right, Tunnicliffe and Leonard in the middle, and then he'll probably play Gregors and Moore up front. I think he'll play Moore up front tomorrow. What can you say? You got no Marshall, so he can't play wide. If you put Jed central to cover Tomo, then you'll lose. You'll have to put Fred wide, and you've got no one to play on the other wing unless you put Fergie there. It's hard to tell, but tomorrow is a game that is very, very winnable. I do now want to win that game tomorrow. The den's going to be rocking. It's going to be sold out. I will just say again, for any Millwall fans that think that only my mates come on the channel, I'll be at the rear entrance behind the Dockers. Where the Dockers meets the Cold Blow. I'll be there after the game for interviews, so please come along and have your say on Lions TV. Let's win the game if we can. Let's get back to Wembley. Let's play Crystal Palace in the semi-final so we can go to Wembley and have half a chance, because let's have it right. If we get Man City or Man United, we don't want to go to Wembley in the semi-final, get absolutely ruined. Let's go and have half a chance against Palace. And then it could be a repeat of 2004 if we beat them. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Are we going to win the game? No. It's a bridge too far for me, unfortunately. and I think we will lose the game, by 2, maybe 3 goals to nil. Hope I'm wrong. Hope it's a fantastic day out, but it won't be the end of the world if we do get knocked out. It's going to be very difficult to stay in this division, and at the minute that's the only thing I really care about. So that's your lot for this post Birmingham pre-Brighton VT. Great win at Brum. Long may it continue, and let's stay in this division. Looking forward to Sunday. Can we win? It's possible, but I don't think we're going to get the victory. But there you go. If we get back to Wembley, it'll be another fantastic day out. Before that, I'll be going to UFC tomorrow at the O2. Can't wait for that one. And then on Sunday, let's hope we can get back to Wembley again, our second home. Could be the greatest weekend of my life, I know. Please subscribe to Lions TV. See you at the Den Sunday. Come on, you Lions.